I'm alive. Man, oh man, I'm alive. Yeah, it's been a little bit of time. It's been a little rough the last few days, guys, but I am back. I'm back. Finally recovered. If many of you recall, last week, I think it was Wednesday. I'll have to go back and watch the stream, but it was one of the streams. I think it was Wednesday where I was like, "Yeah, I feel a little dumpy today," and I couldn't put my finger on it. And then Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday came along, and yeah, it was rough. It was rough. I got some sort of stomach bug, and it went through most of my family. So it was a real thing. We're talking like fever and major stomach issues. So it wasn't good. I was shivering in bed, trying to stay warm, then getting too hot, not really keeping down much. It was a rough one. And usually I don't get sick that often. My wife made this observation. Usually I don't get sick that often, but when I do, I get really sick, and that was the case. So it was a miracle that I was able to get that stream out on Wednesday because, man, I was flat on my back the rest of the week. I mean, I've had worse, but it was not fun. So yeah, I didn't get to start the master study when I wanted to. I really wanted to start before the weekend into it, but that wasn't going to happen. My body was like, nope, that ain't happening, Rocky. You need to chill out here for a second. So apologies, everybody. Didn't get to make it. I was really bummed that I didn't. But I was watching my phone, watching the poll, realizing that a couple pages were tied in the votes. And then eventually, the first moment I saw that the first page from the killer tipped the scales over, I'm like, boop, that's it. That's the winner. So yeah, that's where we are today. For those of you who are new, I don't think anybody's new here yet, but my name is Rocky Ballesteros, and I am starting my Master Studies series on Will Eisner today. I'm so excited about it. A little scared, but I'm very, very excited about it. And but yeah, it was just kind of good to turn the weekend, think about starting this stream, just prep for it. Again, when you step away from it just for a little bit, you kind of forget what you're doing. And there's all the little check boxes of, oh yeah, I got to do this. And oh yeah, I got to prep the thumbnail and all these kind of things that you have to do. But the thing that brings the biggest smile to my face once I hit go is all you fine people popping up in the chat. It's really good to see you all. Comrade Sammy, first in the chat. What's up, Comrade Sammy? How are you doing? I missed you guys, missed hanging out with you guys and talking with you all and chatting with you all on these streams. So it's really good to see you here. Emo Trash, she came out of class. Holy moly. I thought when I was saying I'm going to have to stream around 10:30. I thought it was going to be a little bit early for you. So it's great, Emo Trash, that worked out. She says, thank the God, Lord Almighty. Yeah, amen. There's a couple nights there I was like, ugh, take me now, Lord. Stomach stuff is just not fun. Not fun. So, yeah, good to see you, Emo Trash. Emo Trash was saying she just got out of class. So that's great. I'm glad that worked out and timing worked out for you. Howdy, Rocky and the Comrade Sammy and Emo Trash. What's up, Cranberry Langers? Oh my gosh, wait a minute. Back up. See, this is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you when I'm out of sync here. Here we go, Comrade Sammy. How are you doing? Emo Trash. There we go. Got to do it right. And then, of course, Cranberry Langers.
This is a cranberry, full of power.
Now I'm getting back into the rhythm, people. So I believe Cranberry Landers says he was on a lunch break really quick. Happy Tuesday. That's right. Happy Tuesday. Happy 4-day week, right? We got the Monday off, which was great for me to recover and actually have a bit of a weekend that wasn't just on my back. Beautiful weather here. But yeah, I hope you guys had a great Labor Day and did some, I don't know, did some Labor Day-ish stuff. What do you do on Labor Day? I usually just take the extra day and chill out. I got some time to like read some books, read some, catch up on some comics, and get totally hooked on this series called The Bear. Have you guys heard of this series? I'm a little late to the game. I've heard a lot about it. I knew it was about restaurant business, just the whole high-stress restaurant world. And a lot of people had been telling me about it. I've been reading reviews, and I'm like, I really, like, I mean, I'm into restaurant stuff for sure. And I'd been watching a reality show about restaurant stuff, a Gordon Ramsay show. So I'm kind of in that mindset. So I started watching it. Man, I am hooked on that show. That is a really, really good show. The characters are so strong. And yeah, the storyline is great. It just like tugs on your heartstrings. The whole setup of the story is amazing. So if any of you guys have watched that, let me know what you think. But it's very, very good. Very, very good show. If restaurant stuff interests you at all, it's definitely about the hardships of and how high intense that industry is, but also the love of cooking and how that just draws people in and kind of reminds me of the art world, comics, animation. It's such a hard path, but something just keeps pulling you back in to do it. Like you're compelled. You can't not do it, or you can't not enjoy it. You can't not try. And so, yeah, this story is similar to that, and it's tied to family dynamics, really toxic family dynamics. It's amazing. It's a really good show. Let me see. Emo Trash says, though, now I shall commence more manageable suffering in the background from the horrors yet to be completed that were just assigned. Is that your homework? Yikes. It'll be great. You're going to do great, Emo Trash. Don't worry. Cranberry Langer says he's working. He went to Comic-Con on Saturday. Nice. Which one? Was it Dragon Con did you go to? I've heard Dragon Con is amazing. Is that the one? Hang on a second. Cat is talking to me. What's up? You want to come in the stream? Come on, buddy. Come on in. Ugh, of course. And he just stands at the door. He's like, no, I just wanted you to open the door. I don't want it to be closed. Was it Dragon Con, Cranberry Langers? I think that was one that was going on this weekend. I'm not sure. I've heard Dragon Con's like a huge, almost festival, as opposed to just a con. So that's cool. I'd love to hear about that. Here we go. Adam. All right, buddy. Check it out. In the midst of all that was not going on based on streams, I did get to work on this. Here we go.
This is Adam. Hey.
Congratulations, man. I finally got to your sound. This channel does have some real spirit today because we are talking about Will Eisner. We're starting the Will Eisner Master Study, but here we go one more time for Adam. Everybody listen up. This is the debut of his sound effect for my channel.
This is Adam. Hey.
I don't know. It was hard to find something Adam related, but hopefully you enjoyed that. Yeah, there we go. Hey, Adam. Emo Trash is telling us about her classes. Tuesday, she have a Zoom class. Wow, people still have Zoom classes? Anytime I cannot Zoom, that is my choice. I can't stand Zoom. It was so revolutionary and amazing technology for COVID. But I think my reaction to it, post-COVID pandemic, lockdown, all that kind of stuff is like, I never, ever want to be on a Zoom again. It's so unnatural and very awkward for somebody like me. So yeah, I hope it's not an art class that you have on Zoom. More it's like a liberal arts or history class maybe. And Adam, as I mentioned in the chat, I will give you a rim shot for that joke. For your spirit joke. Where is it? Where is my here we go. As Adam said, this stream has got a lot of spirit. That was a good one. That was a good one to start off the stream. All right. What's up, Mark's Music Obsession? How you doing, buddy? Hopefully the Whoa! Sorry, my cat just jumped on the desk. No, you cannot be on the desk. He has no limits. This is the one that chews on the comic bag stuff. He's the one that yells at me when I cough in the background. Excuse me. He's a little bit of a jerk, but he's our jerk. No, he can't jump on my desk. Sorry, distracted. What's up, Mark's Music Possession? How you doing, my friend? Haven't talked to you in a while. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you are well. I was just catching up with the chat and letting them know how I was battling a very, very bad stomach bug the last few days. Finally came out of the woods. I mean, Saturday I was okay, but still not eating that much. And Sunday, I'd say, was the first day I felt pretty normal. Then yesterday was pretty good, too. So, yeah, it was a rough one. It was a rough one. And you guys were... Fortunately, you can't catch anything across stream. But you guys were there when I was feeling it at the beginning on Wednesday, when I was like, yeah, not feeling too good. That was it. That totally reared its ugly head. Adam says, last time I had COVID, it was like that. Really? Yeah, the one time that I've had COVID was not bad at all. It was in the middle of, where everything was super locked down and people were freaking out and everything, and it was super mild. Pretty much I just tested because other family members of mine were having a little bit of symptoms, but none of us ever got it very bad. So fortunately, I just get these gross viruses other than COVID. Comrade Sammy says, big deal. You don't have to do 2 pages. You still have to do A, and I'm satisfied with that. If I didn't know any better, I would think you're trying to set me up for failure, Comrade Sammy. But it's okay. I will survive. I will survive. Your name is what? What? My name is what? I missed that. Sorry, I'm behind. Maybe I'll remember in a sec. Had to get a package from Katie. Came in the mail today. Awesome! It came. Was that the print that she did? That's great. I caught one of her streams. Oh my goodness. Was I sick already when I caught one of her streams? And then I know she did a stream on her son's comics that she found, and I totally missed that one because I was not feeling not only was I not feeling great or good enough to stream or do anything, I was just off YouTube, off my phone. I was just watching TV at that point. I just couldn't. I just felt nauseous all the time. It was not good. So yeah. But that's cool, Mark, that you got that package. That's great. Wow. Cross the miles. Connection. 3-day weekend was good. Comic convention, spending time with my visiting brother, then binging season 3 of Fringe. It wasn't Dragon Con. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I've heard good things about Dragon Con. I've never made it to Dragon Con before. Only to San Diego Comic Con and then WonderCon and then a few local cons here up in the northern Bay Area. But I've never been to Dragon Con or New York Comic Con or Tampa Bay Con, as Mark is advertising all the time. Adam loves the sound bit. Awesome. One more time for Adam, just because it's a debut.
This is Adam. Hey.
You'd be surprised at how hard it was to find something that had Adam or related to Adam. It's hard. Congrats on the soundbite, Comrade Sammy says. What's up, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969?
How do you say monkey in French?
How are you doing? I did... Yeah, I'll open that tomorrow. Did get something related to... I mean, I already talked about it, but I'll open it up probably tomorrow on my Wednesday comics. But I'm pretty sure I got the Grendel Omnibus 2, and that'll be awesome. Just remember that because I'm looking at your profile picture, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. Emo Trash says, I choose Zoom classes when it's a class I do not feel the need to talk to people for. But it's an art class. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I could I do a Zoom art class? I guess it depends. Depends on how it's structured. Do you feel like it's like working for you, Emo Trash? I don't know. I'm just all about like as I say this, as I'm technically just like Zooming with you all, or not Zooming with you all, but streaming with you all, talking to you guys on a screen. I'm definitely more of an in-person kind of person. Like, I need those like visual cues and connection to feel like, in-person connection to feel like I'm really connecting with somebody emotionally. It's hard with the screen and then the delay, always the slight delay on Zoom, and you're like, and you're like constantly interrupting people. Like, I hate that. The varying degrees of people's tech ability. So you'll have some people that have a really good camera and lighting, and then you have people that are like, you're looking up their nose the whole time, or like hearing their baby crying in the back. I don't know. I've been in some gnarly Zoom meetings before. Zoom was impressive. I never got how, I mean, you got to admit that like prior to COVID, it was like Skype was the big one that people were using for video calls, and it was not good. Like the quality of Skype calls, the drop off, the frame rate, just everything was just painful, at least from my experience. And then Zoom came along during COVID, and you had like how many multiple people on screen at the same time. Yes, there was a slight delay that I just complained about, but it was all kind of working. And then it got to a point where you can like screen share, and I'd say it got developed very fast. And COVID just sped it up like crazy. And then it just became the norm. It was fast, man. It was really fast. So yeah, I'd call it revolutionary. And now it's like fully remote, for a lot of people. Everything is supposed to be done through Adobe. Why, I really hate this class with a passion. Yeah. Sorry. You can't prove that. I would never want you to fail. No, I know. I'm just playing with you. I know you're a supporter. Why would you show up to this crazy stream if you didn't support? So, it's all good, Comrade Sammy. Comrade Sammy's a chick. I know that. Did I say dude? I mean, I call girls dude sometimes. What'd I do? Correct me. That's okay. Glad you're feeling better, Rocky. Thank you, Mark's Music Obsession. Yes. I think you mean dame or doll, since the spirit. Nice. Adam. Whew. Keeping us online, man. Keeping us on theme. It's awesome. Yes, a dame, doll. I love all that lingo from that time period. Film noir time period. I'm going to be trying to pay attention to chat, but definitely listening, multitasking at the moment. No problem, Mark. Zoom, stream, what's the difference? What up, Shanthan Jetty Art? How are you doing, my brother? How are you doing? Happy belated birthday to Shanth and Jetty Art. For those of you who didn't know, Shanth just celebrated a birthday. He is officially 81 years old. Happy birthday, Shanth, from me to you. I'm giving you all the things. All the sounds for Shanth and Jetty Art. How are you doing, my friend? I hope you had a great birthday. Hope you celebrated it with your lovely wife. And yeah, we're able to do things that filled you up and made you feel appreciated and alive. Because as we get up in age, we can't take these birthdays for granted. We can't assume they're coming the next year. So happy birthday, my friend. I'm glad to see you here. Oh, I did? I'm sorry. It was an accident. I know. I made that first mistake. The very first time I met Comrade Sammy, I think it was John who corrected me and said, "Where is John?" That's going to be the new running theme. Where's John? But yeah, John corrected me because I was like, "Comrade Sammy, thank you." And John was like, "It's a girl. She's a girl." I was like, "Oh, shoot." So yeah. If I did, it was a total slip up because I know Comrade Sammy. She's a dame. She's a doll. Got it. Just don't listen to popular media in your school, Sammy, and you'll do well. Emo Trash says, I'm personally okay with being referred to as dude. I'm not insecure myself. Dude is a very not gender. I mean, I don't say dudette. That doesn't quite work. Or I never grew up saying dudette. I just call it dude. Like, that's just kind of like, yo. I don't say yoette. So yeah, dude is not, I'm not thinking of a guy all the time that I say dude. Well, that's not true, because sometimes I'll use a term I'm meeting up with a bunch of dudes, or we're just a bunch of dudes. So yeah, but that wasn't the case. All right, I'm going to stop talking about it. Ferris Comics is here. What's up, Ferris Comics? Hello, everyone. Brother Sean, happy birthday. Yes, you're still younger than me. 81 is younger than Mark's music obsession. 80, Mark, based on your profile picture, you don't look older than 82. So you're good, man. You're doing good. That's right. Shanth has reached animated corpse status. He has come. That's why he's writing a story like Nosfero. It's actually autobiographical. Yeah. All that talk about like the undead and generations and old skeleton vampire, that's Shanth. It's Shanth. It's his personal story. So when he says it's like personal to him, it's real. That's Shanth. Good to see Ferris Comics. Let's see. Didn't see a notification till now. Whatever. I've given up on people seeing notifications. I say dudette on occasion. Do you? I don't know. Dudette. Girl. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't say dudette. My rage has me running at like 100 miles per hour. Oh no. I hope that has nothing to do with what I'm doing, but it's okay, Emo Trash. It's gonna work out. Don't worry. But it's very name specific, so work it. All right. So here we go. I do have I have low power mode on my watch. No kidding. I do have a somewhat limited time. I do have a cutoff today because I have a meeting that I got to get to at about 1. So remind me if I'm running too late because I do have to get to that meeting. But today we're going to start this page. So I did get like on the few moments that I had normalcy when I was sick, I did run to the copy store to FedEx and blow up my page from the book. I actually before the vote was done, I just went ahead and blew up all the pages just to prep for whichever one was chosen. So I blew up the page and copied it to about the size that I want to work at. So I did get all that prep done. And here we are. So this was the winning page. Right here, page A, or from the killer. And already looking at this page, it is just jam-packed full of so many good lessons to learn. Let me adjust this a little bit. I talked about some of these things when I was introducing this page to you guys, but I'll go a little bit over of like kind of my thinking of why I wanted to try and, with you guys voting it, but initially why I brought this page to you guys to vote on, because as with so much of Eisner's work, it is just a master class in composition, pacing, characterization, and execution. Lighting is brilliant in this. This is so good. Actually, total side subject. There's an artist edition that I'm hunting for now. It's the Kelly Jones Batman Artist Edition that came out a while ago. And I had seen that it was out. I've never been a huge fan of Kelly Jones' work, but when I was looking at it, watching a flip through of it recently, I was like, oh my gosh. And Kelly Jones borrows a lot from Bernie Wrightson. And Bernie Wrightson, a lot of people may have already known this. I didn't even bring this up when I was talking about Tim Vigil's work, but I had shown some of Tim Vigil's work last stream, or one of the last streams, and just have what a great like command of anatomy and style that he had. And I didn't really put the two and two connections until seeing how much Tim Vigil studied Bernie Wrightson's work. And Bernie Wrightson is another one who is just a master, like unattainable level of execution on his comic work. So I was like, oh, like I can see how much he borrowed from or was influenced by Bernie Wrightson's work. And that led me to Kelly Jones, who was always also influenced by Bernie Wrightson's work. And so I saw that there was that artist edition. There's two artist editions that Kelly Jones has done, or that they've put together for his work. One is a Batman one, and the other one is a Dead Man one. And Kelly Jones always had this very exaggerated style, which didn't totally connect with me as a kid. But now looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so incredible. Specifically this Batman work. And his Batman work was inked by none other than John Beatty, who inked the Mike Zeck stuff that I did the master study on. So that's why it's kind of this long-winded connection. But as I was like over the weekend looking at some of this Kelly Jones work, I was like, oh my gosh, like why do I like this Kelly Jones stuff, like this body of work that he did so much? And I realized it was because John Beatty was inking him. So he brought another level of quality, another aspect to his work that was so good. And then it kind of reminded me of what Eisner's does. And you can tell that Kelly Jones is looking at the masters like Wrightson, like Eisner, for his storytelling, for his lighting. And there are not that many comic artists, I would say modern comic artists, even not just modern comic artists, maybe like within the last few decades, that commanded lighting like Will Eisner in his straight up inks. And that's a huge draw for me, because when in this day and age, when you have computer coloring and all the tools at your disposal, for somebody to be able to do this and make this so impactful and so cinematic just with black and white ink on paper is crazy. And it's something I want to learn to do. So that's a huge reason why Eisner is a big draw for me to try and study more, just on this page alone. So going back to here we are at this page now. Why did I pick this page? Just in this page alone, there is so many things that I'm going to learn by trying to pull off a master study with dramatic lighting, right? So it's like there's clear light source here and how he's showing that. Effects lighting, so this impact. Some people call this like some people attribute Jack Kirby for developing this kind of language. I don't know who did it first, but when the point, the language being when somebody punches somebody in comics, there's like an explosion, right? We just take it for granted of like, oh yeah, you always want to see that like pow, the action lines. But like in real life, when somebody gets punched, there's not a bright light that happens. It doesn't shine like a light bulb doesn't explode when somebody gets punched in the face, but it just creates that kind of impact. And so how Eisner does it here, whether I'm going to use like white, it seems like there's some white brush strokes here, whatever. There's definitely feathering techniques, like all sorts of cross-hatching feathering techniques that Eisner uses in this page. will be so informative. And just the use of negative space and how the blacks, the dark shadows are like leading your eye and kind of dictating the action where your eye goes. Talk about lighting. Like, how do you light inside somebody's head? How do you show that we're looking inside somebody's head? So this kind of crazy stuff, we're inside the eyes of the killer, literally inside the eyes of the killer, is so cool. Like these I mean, there's a lot to take in here. Even here, right here, like when I get to this point, this like telephone pole, how he shows the, let me zoom, give you guys a closer look. I mean, we'll be doing this for a few things. But yeah, how he shows the dimensionality of this pole here is going to be unbelievable to like figure out. It's not just straight up lines. It's not just straight up hatching. Like he does this, like he's using this ink mark, but then he's distancing it to give us this sense of like volume, dimensionality, whatever. So, and then just drawing figures, poses, oh my God, expressions, detail, backgrounds, like it is all here. There's so much I could learn like in this one panel or this one panel, but we got a lot to go. So this is a great page. I'm super excited that this was voted on. Very frightened, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really awesome. I'm just wondering now as I'm looking at it, I'm wondering what I'm going to do with, because I've not put in the word balloons. I might just do blank word balloons. Because if I didn't draw this word balloon, which is what I've been doing in the other master studies, I've not even been adding in the word balloons at all. If I take these out, I'm going to have to figure out what's going on here, which I don't even know if I want to really do that. Like fill in the blank. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I get there. I'll pencil them in though. Anyway, lots to get through. All right. Whoops. I'm way behind. Okay. Nothing to do with you. Everything to do with the anticipation of riding the Adobe Struggle Bus all the way. Yeah. Oh boy. It'll be good. We'll get you through it, Emo Trash. Don't worry. Plus maybe hormones. Currently not helping. Seems I'm just going to be a mess today. Oh boy. No comment. Lads and ladies, dudes and dudettes. I also swap out chicks and dudes. Chicks and dudes. Hey, yeah, sure. We put this in the background as I go draw a hallway in my house for my other class. Okay, Memo Trash. Draw away. Go for it. Adam says, Deadman is a cool character. It's hard to write a good story for him, but they are out there. Yeah, I haven't read that series, that whole Deadman series. I do have... I think you guys were on stream when I found a couple issues of back issues of Deadman, I thought. I could have sworn. A couple back issues that were drawn by... Aha! Yeah. I think I have not read... Whoa! I have not read these yet, but I found these in back issues at Amazing Fantasy. They're drawn by Jose Garcia Lopez. Wow, he would be another one. Ooh, I haven't even thought of him for a master study. Yikes. But yeah, so I haven't read these yet. I only have issue 2 and issue 4, which means I should probably get 1 and 3 if I can find it before I start reading it. But yeah, I've never really read many Deadman stories. He's kind of a weird character. But I know Kelly Jones had a run on him, and he drew him a lot more distorted and almost like monstrous, which is kind of where his artwork tends to go. And actually, Kelly Jones just released, with Matt Wagner, creator of Grendel, a Dracula crowdfunded book, which I think it's now released not just through crowdfunding, but like in comic book stores. And it looks amazing. I saw a flip through on that one on the channel Read Your Comics. if you guys could check out Read Your Comics, I really love the reviews that he does on comic books, and he did one of that first volume of Dracula, and it looks awesome. The colors on it are great. The colorist's name is Jose Villarrubia, and he's a longtime colorist and has done some color work has been doing the recoloring of like Richard Corbin's series recently. Jose Villarrubia, Kelly Jones did the artwork on Dracula, and Matt Wagner wrote it. It looks amazing, like really good. It makes me want to buy it. So I haven't pulled the trigger on that one yet, but again, I'm kind of discovering or rediscovering Kelly Jones' artwork and appreciating it a lot more now where I am as an artist as opposed to as a kid. So, but yeah, the Batman one, I got my eye on that one. Adam says, are you going to pick up Absolute Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman? I'm definitely picking up Absolute Batman. I don't know about Superman and Wonder Woman, but the Absolute Batman has got me very, very excited because of Nick Dragotta's artwork, and there's a lot of hype around it. So yeah, I'm definitely picking up those issues. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It could suck, but it looks fun. Looks a lot of fun. I have to leave now. Ciao, Rocky, Chad. Happy birthday, Sean. See you later, Cranberry. A bientôt, Cranberry. What's up? Art and Times of Jay Ryan. Color Race pencils for the win. Do you know what else is for the win, Art and Times of Jay Ryan?
It's actually a really good sculpt.
There you go, man. I was trying to think, like, what kind of sound effect can I pick for this guy? And I know that you not only comics and art, but you also do a lot of unboxings on your channel, which are fun. You've probably been told this before, Art and Times J. Ryan, but you got a great like radio voice, like a announcer-y voice. So I was like, I want to get a clip of that. And then I heard you say that about the toy, the sculpt toy. So there you go, man. Both you and Adam, new sound effects today.
It's actually a really good sculpt.
There you go. Maybe I should edit that and put a little bit of music behind it, but congrats on your sound bite. Thank you for coming. And yes, Color Ace pencils for the win. We're going with the, I should tell you guys my menu today. We're going with the scarlet, red, and blue combo today, which has been the combo I've been using these last few master studies. I might bust out a couple different colors if those aren't working, but those are what we're starting with today. This one is the, it's also blue, but as you can see, two different blues, and I don't know which one. They're both the same, like item number, 20044, but very different blues. I don't know if that was intentional, if one came before the other and they changed it. I do like this blue better. This one's a little darker. But I have less of these than I do of that one. I don't know. We'll try them all out and see how it goes. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. I don't know what's different for Absolute Superman and Wonder Woman. Yeah, I have not really... It's funny, with any kind of reinvention or update that the big companies do on tried and true characters, the first thing I'll look at is the artist. And I wasn't that excited, or it didn't make me wake up as much as the artist on Absolute Batman. So I don't know. I'll look through them when they come out. They're all probably going to come out at the same time. So I'll look through them on the rack, but I'm not committed to it. I'm definitely committed to the Nick Dragotta one because I love his artwork. Everything he's done in the past recently, I've really loved, really got on board. He actually did a short Superman story, which I've never found or picked up, but it looked awesome. And so, yeah. And then all the like ancillary artwork that has been released so far about Absolute Batman has got me excited. So yeah, I'm definitely picking that one up. All right, let's get going. Let's get started. So it's funny because when I do these blow-ups at the copy store, it's never totally fits the page the way that I think it was. And that could be a whole bunch of different factors. One, maybe the artist didn't originally draw it according to these exact dimensions. They probably vary from page to page, artist to artist, time period to time period. So that's one. I'm pretty sure that the original spirit, at least the book that this came out in, is not a comic book size or graphic novel size. It's a more of a wider format that it was released in. So I'm assuming the original comics were kind of wider format as well too. And two, there could be some variances in how I'm doing the copies. That's one of the things I don't like about doing these master studies, is when I bring my books to the copy place, to FedEx or to Kinko's. You got to open up the binding and like put it in the copy machine or like press it down a little. I'm like, like it totally like hurts a little bit to like push on the binding. And depending on the book, yeah. So yeah, this one, like when I blew it up and made the copy, you can see it's still, I didn't push it all the way hard, all the way, because there's a little bit of bowing here, so it might affect how it copied out. But I got it pretty much the size that I think it should be within the safe areas. It's a little wider than the safe areas, which I think is okay, and it's a little shorter than the safe areas. So we'll have to fudge it around a little bit. But yeah, that's where we're at. And then I was looking that it looks like it's pretty much an even three row breakup. So that's helpful. And then I'm just going to use these predetermined tick marks or guides here to measure out that three row, whatever, 3 row breakout. So yeah. Maybe you just suck at copying. It's possible. Maybe. Emo's, she's on the edge a little bit right now, everybody. But we have grace for that. DWJ cover for absolute. Yeah, that one. Is that one kind of like it kind of has like a little bit of a Mobius feel to that one. I think it's like really detailed. That one, there's a lot of great variant covers on that one. I'm just gonna get the standard. I think I'm just gonna get the standard cover, Nick Dragotta cover on that one. But they're getting a lot of artists to do variants on that. I feel like out of all the absolute all-in DC all-in books that are coming out, that one has the most hype right now. And they're pushing it. So it seems like, I don't know how many variant covers I've seen advertised for that one. Art and Times J. Ryan says, Snyder is on the defensive on X Twitter. He commented on a post of mine, but at least he's not blocking people. Wow. He commented on a post of yours. That's awesome. What is he defensive about? Is it about... yeah, what is he defensive about? About Rebel Moon or what? Like, which I didn't really like. There actually, speaking of The Bear, I was just saying earlier how I'm watching this show, The Bear. They had this funny sequence where they were dealing with this whole group of people that I guess were huge video game fans of this video game that's carried at the store. It was called Ballbusters, I think, is the name of a fictional video game. And so at one point they're running a tournament because it brings a lot of customers, and they're all standing outside of the restaurant in like cosplay, pretty much like as if they're going to a convention. And they're being obnoxious and they're cheering outside of the restaurant. And the people that own the restaurant in the show, sorry, I just want to get the shadow out of the... So you guys aren't seeing a shadow of the mic on the screen. But the people that own the restaurant are... it takes place in Chicago. And So it's totally like this, like Chicago, like sandwich shop, you know, with old regulars and everything. And at one point, one of the actors, or one of the characters, his name is Richie, goes out there to talk to this rowdy bunch of nerds. And he says something to the effect, one of the adjectives he uses to describe them is like, you Snyder cut, like whatever. It was so funny. Yeah, it seems like Snyder fans are kind of rabid. All right, let's see. This is it's a little small. It's not exactly half. So I'll draw it a little wider. It's not exactly a half, 1-for-1. This panel here on the left is a little wider than this panel on the right. And I don't think that's a optical illusion. I think that's kind of how it's laid out. And it's funny, it's subtle. It's like, well, why didn't you just make an equal panel? Whether the decision was he just had more information to create, to fill in here horizontally, or he wanted this moment. Oftentimes when people shorten panels or make panels not as wide, it reads a lot faster for whatever reason. It's kind of comic book lingo. So maybe he just wanted this moment to read a little faster. Or maybe I'm overthinking it and he tried to make it halfway and just was a little off. That's possible too. I always wonder that, like, you can overthink anything and think you're like figuring out, getting into the head of whatever artist, of like, oh, this is why they made this decision, this very artsy kind of very thought out decision. Sometimes they're just like, oh, like Eisner might look at this page and be like, oh, that's not exactly halfway. Oh, my mistake. It's very possible. Oh, and another thing, totally separate note, another thing I started working on just yesterday, guys, is I am editing the Mile High Comics video. We are due for a new comic book store spotlight video. And so, yeah, I started editing that one yesterday. It's coming along really nice. So I'm excited to get that one. It's going to be a little longer than some of my other videos. And so if I do play that one, once it gets into the rotation of playing that video before stream, I'll probably just play that one video and that's it, as opposed to playing two videos like I have been doing, because it is a little longer than some of the other videos. Oh yeah, and then I'm going to go a little wider. Yeah, it's quite a bit wider. Probably going to go halfway here between the safe line and the trim line of where I'm going to stop the borders. Stop the borders. This is always the hardest part. Just blocking out the panels. You'd think it'd be the easiest part. Have some calming tea, emo trash, Art and Times of J. Ryan says. The Batman logo, and oh, that. Ah, yes, I remember you did comment on that. I didn't realize, that's crazy that Snyder would reply to your logo comment. Huh, that's cool. Look at you. Oh, Scott Snyder. Gotcha. I was thinking Zack Snyder. I just went on that whole rant of Snyder Cut. Whoops. No relation, Zack Snyder and Scott Snyder. Gotcha. Yeah, Scott Snyder's been promoting huge, the writer of Absolute Batman. I'll have to go and look up and see what he said. It's kind of crazy. I mean, that's great that he didn't block you, though. It's always, I mean, you got to have conversation with people about stuff, right? Like, regardless if you agree, or hopefully, especially when you don't agree with people, that you can just have, like, civil conversations with people. It's hard. I know. It can easily devolve. So hopefully, I haven't followed the thread Art and Times of Jay Ryan, but hopefully that didn't get gnarly with all the fans and whatever. Just like how English teachers have you overanalyzing books and picking metaphors out of thin air when the author probably didn't think that. It's true. I think about that all the time. I'm like, maybe it was just the flick of the wrist or a total accident. Okay, let's see. So these panels, 2.5, they are about the same. This one's 4. So, I guess I can do the same measurements. And then that. It's about 2.5. Look about right. That's close enough. It's a little shorter. Yep. All right. That. Maybe I should have done these panels in a different color because the blue is confusing me with the blue. And then this bottom one, this is about 3 1/8. 6 3/8. The other exciting thing that popped up while I was sick on my back was we are at 320 subscribers. That came out of nowhere. Pretty awesome. Thank you everybody who has subscribed to this channel. It's so rewarding to think that we hit that milestone. And to see stuff happen even when I couldn't get to stream. So very excited about that. All right, here we go. I think we got our panels. Is that? It's just a little thinner then, but I can fudge that out. All right, I think we got that all measured out. Ugh. And we'll just start blocking this sucker in. Art and Times J. Ryan says, yeah, you can tell it's a thing, but the logo is just bad. It's not recognizable bat symbol. At any distance, just becomes a big black rectangle. It's not commercially or aesthetically viable. Yeah, I've seen people compare it to Frank Miller's Dark Knight. logo that he did on Batman's chest in that book, in The Dark Knight, which was a lot chunkier and fatter, but this one is like super extreme. So you like lose the bat, like you had pointed out in your initial post. You lose the bat at all, like the imagery of the bat at all. So our little Rocky's growing. I'm growing. I'm doing it. He'll become a boulder someday. So proud. Have you ever seen the missing piece meets the big O? That's where I'm at. Just trying to grow. All right. Always the daunting part, but let's start with this softer blue. Man, I already see, like, I was not struggling, but, you know, learning a lot from hair that Zach was doing in that Punisher page. And holy moly, there's a lot of hair to be figured out here. This is gonna be crazy. And such a interesting contortion on the body here with him punching. You don't even see his fist, his arm position. You just see this blast, this like action burst. You get from this panel here prior that he's already hitting him in the head, but the only thing that's telling you that he's getting hit in the head is the direction of the spirit's face. But it's like, oh, it's such a weird composition. Or I should say unusual composition. I already feel myself drawing things like larger than they should be. $350 is only 30 subs around the corner. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy to think. And the rate that the subs come compared to when I first started, like it just builds on itself, right? It's all this momentum or viewership, whatever, or however the algorithm is pushing out your channel to new people, word of mouth, whatever it is. But the way that it grows is a lot faster than when you first start. So it's kind of cool. Like I know I was saying, oh, we just hit 300, and the next thing I know, we're at 320, and I was like, wow, that happened a lot faster than me getting from like 0 to 20. Comrade Sammy says, I was watching some of the old streams the other day. I can't believe I was here when he had less than... It's true. You were here. It was crazy. Crazy. What's up, John? John is here.
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
How are you doing, John? Speaking of that audio clip, speaking of the bear, I was saying how I was watching the show The Bear. John, which is where that audio clip comes from, stand-up by John Mulaney. He has a guest role in The Bear. And every time I heard him speak, he has such a distinct voice and kind of delivery. Every time I heard him speak, I thought of your soundbite, John. so weird. Kind of my worlds colliding. How are you doing, John? How long was that before I noticed? I don't know. I'm not looking at timestamps right now, but it's probably a while. Everybody's saying hello to John. I saw Gothic's first, pre-caffeinated still. Back to sit-down opportunities to get to watch for all. Cool, Mark's music obsession. The grind to 500 is real. Yep, it is. I heard that's one of those ones that takes a while to get to, but it's been, every moment's been awesome. Been really cool and worth it. And I'm gonna switch to red. I'm having a hard time like deciphering which line is my edge line. It's about midpoint. Some great, like drawing these tension points in cloth so you can see the leg form underneath the cloth is really hard to do. It takes a lot of observation of cloth and how it folds and how it falls on the form, on the human form, and then knowing the human form underneath it. And EISNER does that really well. That's kind of the reason why like superheroes are more commonly in spandex, skin tight stuff than like everyday skivvies, because it's a lot harder to draw all these like folds and costumes like this than it is to just to color it differently and say, oh yeah, they're wearing a skin tight suit. Like this shadow. It's awesome how this shadow has dimension to it too. It's not just a hard shadow cross here, but it's like bumpy the way that he rendered it, and you get this feeling like there's snow on the ground. Oh no. Oh no, go take painkillers. I needed a lot of painkillers. Part of what I was with the stomach bug I had, I did have like a fever for a couple days. Fever and like chills and body aches, and yeah, I had to layer my painkillers or fever medicine for that one, because like one dose or a single dose from one kind of medicine was not cutting it. Wow, I'm way off on this dude already. This is my edge line. hand. Okay, on time. I didn't ask how are you? You really do need caffeine. You guys are getting too comfortable with each other. I already feel like this dude is... I was trying to, I forgot what got me on an Elvis kick this weekend. But I started listening to Elvis music, and it's great. It's really good. I really wish I could just play it on stream here while I was working. That won't get me copyright struck at all, but it's just fun. I was just explaining to my kids, I was like, this was like rebellious music during its time. Like, people thought it was the devil's music, and it's like so mild compared to regular music right now, but it's really good stuff. I tried to watch that movie, the Elvis movie. I didn't totally get into it. I love that director, Baz Luhrmann, but yeah, I didn't get into it. I should probably sit down and try again, but I feel like that. It's about the right width. Oh, the other thing I watched over the weekend while I was sick was, and I watched this all pretty much maybe in 2 sittings, was the new anime series Terminator Zero. That was really, really good. I had low expectations for that, but and I was pleasantly surprised at it. The writing in that was excellent, and the execution was excellent, and the filmmaking in it was really hardcore. It was awesome. They did some great stuff, and it felt like the kind of normal suspense that you would feel, the tension you would feel watching a Terminator movie, like a live action movie, but it was animated. But the stakes were so high, and the relationships were really strong, and yeah, I enjoyed that one a lot. The music, the soundtrack in that one is great too. Didn't you guys see that one? Let's see. Now, I've planted myself to draw my hallway. My back already hurts where I'm sitting, but if I move, now it'll throw off all the angle measures from where I started. It's real world problems here. So mild compared to WAP. Why are the comments at the top? I just moved them up there. I don't know, John. Is it weird? Is it kind of weird? I just moved them up there because I felt down here. I was watching an old stream and down here it was covering a lot of the artwork I was working on. But maybe it's not. Is it not like as viewable? I can adjust that. Let's see. We can adjust how readable it is. We can do this. Is that better? It's throwing me off. That's what John's saying. I can move it. Here, I'll move it. Fine. There we go. Made to order. I just didn't want to like cover up stuff down here. Whatever. Just always trying to tweak, adjust. Wow, this feels a lot tighter than. Yeah, this feels a lot tighter. Woo, this is gonna be hard. Really gotta like rein in my drawing things 15% larger than they are in real life, because I can already see it like domino effect. Everything's kind of tied to everything else. But I'll just start with blocking stuff in, and then I'll as you know, I'll refine as I go. Like spirits here. This guy just got pushed out the window, leading here to this shadow, to the guy running. It's really good storytelling stuff. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try and put a little music. Hopefully it's not too loud. Let me know if that is too loud. I just need a little something. I did not say anything close to that, John. But you guys are talking a little quieter than normal. No. Sometimes I like to hear music, just to kind of get into some sort of zone. Sometimes I don't. It just depends. Today's one of those days I kind of feel like I need to hear something, some sort of driving force to move me, to push this boulder forward. I just saw something. Oh, here we go. Mark's Music Obsessions is preparing for some bad storms here next couple of days, as the weather is finally going to shift to a cooler pattern. Yeah, I know you guys have been dealing with some very, very hot weather recently, so hopefully that'll clear up for you and you'll get some reprise from the heat. We've had some warm nights. I won't tell you guys the temperature of the evening temperatures because I know you guys will laugh at me, but it's been hot where it's like hard to go to sleep. But I can't imagine that hot as some of you guys are experiencing. I love how Spirit's head right here is just this huge, just this big block shape, like a battering ram into this guy's back. It's a really clear read out of a very awkward position because of that big shape. If I don't make it as an artist, maybe I'll do like audiobooks about falling asleep. I'll read a book that is about falling asleep in a dulcet tone, in my normal tone, that will put people to sleep as they're reading it. I think that's a great career plan. Striking out all my measurements here. The shadow here is awesome because it indicates the ground plane right here. And then to have the feet up in this position higher without it touching the shadow, you know that his feet are up in the air. So that's like the force of Spirit pushing this guy with his head through the window. Just lifting him up off the ground. It's pretty cool. If you didn't have that shadow there, you could get confused thinking that, oh, he's tiptoeing on the ground or whatever, but it's nice with that shadow there. Rocky, you assume we won't laugh at you if you don't tell us. I assume a lot of things about you guys. I really do. That's okay. The picture I have of you guys in my head, I often think of this. I'm like, if I met those guys, sorry, this music is a little loud in my ears, at least. But I thought, if I meet those guys in person, I bet what I'm picturing is very different from who they are. Then I don't know how my brain would be able to cope. It'll probably snap at that point. Shoulders higher. At least with Art and Times of Jay Ryan, I know what he looks like because I've seen him on stream. I've seen Cranberry on stream. Some of you guys, no clue. No clue. Gosh, the fold work on this is ridiculous. Just in this one panel. Got these stars. Yeah. Spirit always has this large chin. So I don't want to cut that off. It's actually like 57 according to my phone around 8ish this morning. Woke up because my room was freezing. Oh, that sounds like here, the temperature. Normally not what would even be considered cold until December, but we have actually had a freeze this last 2 winters, which is rare here. Wow. Yep, winter is coming. What is going on? Weather needs to chill out. Chill out. All I know is that I will never be making shelf subscribe. I'm sure they're going to turn out great. Are you going to paint them, Comrade Sammy? Oh my gosh, that's a whole other thing. Maybe just keep them raw wood. When I mean cool down, I just mean 80 to 83 for highs and lows, around 68 to 70 for this time of year. That's good for us. That sounds nice. Anytime you get close to, when you get from like mid 80s up, that's just too much. Especially with like humidity and all that stuff. Today is 93 with 103. Ugh. That or hotter had been the norm for 3 months. That's unbearable. Strangely cold here last night too, John says. Yeah, so the weather, winds, adjusting, something's shifting. I hear you. I hear your complaints, cat. You will. I'll just melt. Jay Leno chin, you say? It's kind of like that. Kind of is. It's pretty signature. It's that like heroic chin. This great shading on it. I don't even remember who played the spirit in the movie, which I know it wasn't a good version, but there was an actor who played it. I don't remember him having like a huge chin. I think he was just a handsome guy. Let's see. So try another music clip. That eraser, I had those one in school. This one, the this Pentel one, or this one, the kneaded eraser. Both are fun. Kneaded erasers are great because they don't leave behind bits, and you can shape them to erase like, you know, just tiny. You can shape it to erase whatever size you need, and they really like. They'll get stiff after a while if you don't use them a lot, but then you just knead them with your fingers and kind of warm up the rubber, and it just gets a lot softer again and cleans itself a little bit. It's kind of cool. It's a weird substance, but very, very cool for art. And then, yeah, I like to use the high polymer eraser, the Pentel eraser, the white erasers when I need to erase something. Like, you can put a lot of pressure on these, but because they're soft, sometimes there's certain, whether it's colors or how dark of a pencil line it is, sometimes it's hard to pick it up all off with this eraser, so I'll switch to this one because it's a harder surface. And then I use these, the click erasers. I don't know, I just jump back and forth between them all. But yeah, eraser technology has not really advanced much. It kind of is what it is, and they all work well for different purposes. Still debating whether I should keep the word balloons in or not. I'm already exhausted. This page is so hard. to block out all these shapes. Get them the right, because this one's going to be a real big challenge for me, just proportions. Getting the proportions right for all the information to fit where it needs to fit, because it's kind of interlocking in a lot of places, overlapping in a lot of places, and if you screw up the proportions on one thing, it just is like a domino effect with everything else. So this is for sure going to be very challenging. I was thinking about one of the things while I was working on the video for Mile High Comics. In the middle of working on that and prepping for this stream, I was like, oh, I wonder if I should come up with some sort of master study intro, like change up my intro for these streams. I think that'd be fun. So I might work on that after I'm done with the Mile High video. I realize people just jumping in here might be like, what is going on? What are you doing? What is a master study? So it'd be cool to like intro it a little bit. Take for granted that you guys know what I'm doing and who I am, and never say, oh yeah. My name is Rocky. All these details. It's like cigarettes, this ashtray, smoke coming off of the ashtray, the folds in the pants. Oops. Erasers are our lifeline. Yep. Why would I have big erasers like that? I don't know. If you gotta erase, if you make a big mistake, that's why you have a big eraser. Click eraser. Okay, you're talking about the click eraser. Yeah, I love those. Did you ever have it like where you using them or you'd be erasing so hard and you'd break the stem, the connection point, and so the whole eraser would become useless because it wasn't connected anymore? Yeah, I love these erasers. Again, this design has not changed much since I was a kid when they first came out. Mia2 Art is here. What's up, Mia2 Art? Mia2 Art, if I remember correctly, left me a very, very, very nice comment on, I believe it was the Michael Golden stream, which I really appreciate, Mia2 Art. Just kind of saying how you appreciate how I'm breaking this stuff down and talking about it and dissecting the artist in the process. So I really appreciate that. That just made me like, that is why I'm doing this. This is not just for me. This is so that other people can kind of be inspired and learn from it as well. So thank you for that comment. Thank you so much for being here. Great to see you. Hopefully you're subscribed to my channel. These master studies will be a big part of it moving forward. And just excited to learn as I go. Like, it's so fun to set goals for myself with these master studies and picking these artists to learn you know, to really learn and not just learn in a vacuum, but learn with you guys and hopefully articulate it in a way that is understandable and digestible for people who are not doing what I'm doing. I think for people who are artists, comic artists specifically, they're thinking of the same things I am as well, so this all might be very redundant. But for those of you who don't and just enjoy the craft or enjoy comics, hopefully this is a little enlightening. I could be making it all up and you would not know. So there's that too, but you know, there's a little bit of an entertainment value. It's not boring, that my voice isn't grating. I go to great lengths of trying to EQ my voice. But it is sobering to watch back old streams or just watch back all my streams in general and realize like the things that I say too much, how many ums, how many like I saids that I say. It's kind of gross. Using computers pretty exclusive now, or pens, John says. When people stop asking you how to pronounce your name, then you can assume we know who you are. Yeah, I guess so. So maybe I should always look for people who are asking me to pronounce, because that means new people are coming in all the time, which I love. So it's a catch-22 a little bit. I love this little guy in the background. He's like so excited that Spirit's getting the snot beat out of him by his partner. His expression is really funny. His feet are about here. Looks like we see the bottom of his feet too. So yeah, just going back to that kneaded eraser versus the harder pentel eraser, John. In, like, for example, erasing that, like I drew roughed in to the top of his body and I realized it was too far shifted over left, so I wanted to erase the whole thing. But I kind of wanted to soft erase it, if that makes any sense. So because instead of using this one, which would have just obliterated totally, this kneaded eraser gives me, it's almost like if you were using a digital eraser in Photoshop. It's almost like if you put the pressure or the opacity of the eraser to like 80%. Like, you won't fully erase everything off, and it just kind of, if that makes sense. That's when I use that kneaded eraser to get like a soft, clean erase off. Because you can't fully get 100% erase with that eraser because it's soft. So it'll always give. At least that's why I use it. This is hard. How are we doing on time? Okay, 12:08. Probably can go for another half hour to 45 minutes. Hopefully I'll get most everything blocked in. I mean, really roughed in. Man, that was the quietest background music ever. Press down hard on the tab on the opposite side to avoid the eraser. Oh yeah, I didn't know about this tab for the longest time. I'm like, what is that? Like, it didn't make any sense. And then it did. I remember when I first discovered that. It reminded me of the first time I discovered, for those of you who collected He-Man toys when you're a kid, Masters of the Universe toys. I can't, the morning, so when you get He-Man, he comes with his sword. And when you get Skeletor, he comes with the same exact sword from the original line. He comes with the same exact sword, but colored purple. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And but the flip side of the back side of that sword was like flat, and it had like a notch. And I was like, that is a horrible. As a kid, I was like, why does it not look like a regular sword? It just looks kind of unfinished. And I thought it was just a manufacturing thing or whatever. And I can't remember when I realized, because if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't advertised on the packaging that it worked this way. But basically, you could take He-Man's sword and Skeletor's sword, and they connected. Because that's how it was in the comics, and maybe in the cartoon too, but definitely in the comics, where they had two halves of the sword. You put it together. And I was like, oh my gosh. And when I found that out, it blew my mind as a kid that those were the like two halves of the same sword. And then Castle Grayskull, which was He-Man's main castle, had a drawbridge. The skeleton's mouth opened up and it had a drawbridge. And I remember reading a comic where, and they were great comics. I actually have, oh, this was totally cool. Ooh, totally cool segue. Sorry, I bumped that with my head. Hang on a second. If you guys haven't seen this, these are, each toy used to come with a mini comic. And this is a compilation of all those mini comics in one spot. It's awesome. It's a super thick book, but I love that they compiled it all together, just all the comics. And there's some great artists that worked on this. I believe Alcala worked on this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Alfredo Alcala, I've mentioned that artist before. Filipino artist, draws a lot of like sword and sorcery stuff. He has some of his work in that Comic Art Museum video that showed at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, he worked on this, and Bruce Timm at one point worked on this. A whole bunch of people, like famous comic artists, got jobs working for Mattel to do these comics. And they're varying degrees of coolness, but I had a lot of these growing up because I was a huge Masters of the Universe fan, had a lot of these toys. But there was this one comic, let's see if I can find it, where He-Man, to open up the castle, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. To open up the castle, he like stabs this. So here's the castle, right? He stabs this hole. There's the two swords going together, which is amazing. But he stabs this hole next to the castle. Man, what issue was that? I don't even remember what issue that was. And it opens the drawbridge. The sword basically is like the key to open the drawbridge. But the toy, and I didn't know this, I don't know if this was intentional, but I kind of think it was. The toy castle had this little notch next to the drawbridge that I never knew what it was. I was like, what is that? But if you push the sword into it, the drawbridge would open. And I was like, did they plan that? So when I figured out all those things as a kid, my mind was blown. I don't know if I can find that exact moment. It looks like he stabs a tooth of the drawbridge in the comic, if I remember correctly. And I love the varying degrees of Conan, the Barbarian that was injected in these comics, and then the later half, like, not so much. It was more like sci-fi stuff. But yeah, Bruce Timm drew. I think he did some drawings and coloring on this. Yeah, some of these later comics got really bad, but some of the earlier comics were unbelievable, like really well drawn. Like this, he's so good. They made your toys feel epic, and the shading on that. I should do a master study of a He-Man page. This was Mark Texiera was the penciler on this one. Holy moly. Like some really A-list artists were drawing He-Man. Must have paid well. This was great. Ram Man. This is Mark Texiera. Look at that Ram Man. And the toy looked like a block, like a little like fat Lego dude. But look how dynamic he is. It's awesome. I love these comics. And then these original ones, they weren't even comics. They were just like almost storybook drawings, but the coloring was awesome. Oh yeah, maybe it was one of these original ones where he stabbed. You could tell they were just making stuff up too. Like they had no idea what they were doing. I love that panel. Yeah, I bet you it was one of the original ones that he stabbed that. I always got confused with this silhouette, like that coloring. They should have pushed that back, because I always got that confused with the shape of his head. I was like, what is this bump here as a kid? Sorry, totally random. Stratos. Oh, so good. There. Skeletor stabs the side here, and it's just a little drawing, and you could actually do that with the toy, and the drawbridge would open. But they don't mention it in the like toy instructions. At least I never saw it. So anyway, Blast from the Past. I highly recommend this collection. It's super fun. I love the format too, having like a mini comic come with your toy. Artist True Craft is a master BSing. That's right. Katie did send me some of her art, some food treats. Wow, that's amazing. So nice of her to do that. I find you say things on stream or in videos to fill dead air that you don't normally say in conversation. It's true. You kind of get into this mode of like, I gotta fill up the dead air. But yeah, it's kind of comes with the territory. Rocky is like those preachers saying 5 minutes into a 5-hour lesson. And I've been told that before. Awesome One on time. What's up, Awesome One?
That's awesome.
Oh wait, that's too quiet. Let's give that one again.
Yes, that's awesome.
How are you doing, Awesome One? That is a thick boy. Yeah. It's supposed to remind me of some behind the scenes book. Oh yes. I have some time. Yes. I will pull it out right after I catch up on chat. Behind the scenes book on the making of Pink Floyd The Wall, because we were talking about it on Katie's stream, I think, right? What's up? And speak of the devil. What's up, Katie?
Say cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
No. A cup of tea.
How are you doing, Katie? I saw you were streaming a few times this weekend, I think. You kind of upped your ante, so great to hear. I heard that Mark just got a package from you, which is amazing. Some goodies from the UK. That's so cool. Hope everyone had a healthy birth yesterday with their new kids. Yeah, hanging out with the kids. Birth, I don't know. What? Don't try and make sense of it. Just go with it, John. Hey, John, that is for the heads up. I didn't get a notification. It's not Wednesday. Labor Day. Yes, Labor Day. Oh, Labor Day. Gotcha. Birth. Right. Awesome one. Always stirring it up. I wasn't even going to get on YouTube, but here I am. Here you are. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for showing. How do we go from I don't know. I don't know, John. That's how it goes here. Along with the dulcet how do we go from drawing the spirit to He-Man to erasers? I don't know. That's the joy of the stream. The Golden published He-Man books had great art. Golden published. Are they in this? Wait a minute. How can I miss? Wait. Seeing. How could I miss that Chris Golden drew He-Man? Am I crazy? I know Bruce Timm did. Stan Sakai, the creator of Usagi Yojimbo, was lettering on some of these. Can you believe that? Wait. That must be in a different collection, right? Art in Times of J. Ryan? Yeah, that must be a different collection, because I don't think it's in this collection, or I should have noticed that. That would be tragic if I never even picked up on that. Yeah, then they have some later ones here that I wasn't really that into. Let me know, Art in Times J. Run. I'd love to know where those were. Texera, yeah, Texera is awesome. He's kind of disappeared a little bit. I don't know what he's working on now, but he was one of the hot artists back in the late 90s. Ghost Rider, Sabretooth. He worked on a book for Image called Union. It's amazing. Katie says, I went to a comic book shop today, bought some goodies. I'm coming for Rocky's spot here. Do it, Katie. Go. That's amazing. What did you pick up? Golden Stuff had great painted art. Yeah. Emo is here. She is fighting with a drawing. She's drawing as she's watching right now, fighting with it a little bit, but she is definitely here. Pulling out a random book. Rocky skipping all my good comments. Pink Floyd The Wall. Yep. I'll pull it out in a second. In the Night Kitchen by Maurice Sendak, signed by Sendak. Too bad cover is torn. Do you have that? That sounds cool. I love Maurice Sendak. Oh, I know we got on erasers. I saw the one in your hand. Yes. Golden was publisher of kids' books in the 80s. Gem, Transformer, He-Man. Most of them had great painted art. Oh. Nice. Wait, are we talking about Michael Golden or Golden... the Golden books? Because I could be totally thinking about this wrong. If you're talking about Golden books, I definitely know Golden books. I have a whole collection of them. You can't see them from this camera, but behind my head, when I stream from the other side of my office, behind my head I have a whole collection of Golden books there, and I could bust those out and start going over some of those, because that's a whole nother world. Nothing to do with comics, but amazing art, and very inspirational to my own art. But if you were talking about Michael Golden, I never knew Michael Golden worked on that stuff, because I know he was also an art director at one point, so I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, let me know, Mike. Art in Times of J. Ryan, if we're talking about Golden books. I'm fighting with life at the moment. Don't take it. We don't. Emo trash. Oh, okay. Let me get that book, John. The making of Pink Floyd. It's very cool because the artist, the main concept artist and designer for all that stage stuff, was Gerald Scarfe, who's this incredible caricature artist. And yeah, he's a British caricature artist who was really popular in like the 80s, 70s, 80s, even 90s now. I still follow him. He has a social media account and he posts stuff on it and stuff. He's quite old, but still working, does amazing work. I've seen some of his work in person. Is it Scarfe or Stedman? I think it was Scarfe. Ralph Steadman. and Gerald Scarfe are very similar, same kind of school of thought. But let me go get that book. I'm actually going to take a quick bathroom break too, so hold that thought, and I'll be right back. I just realized I have a lot of Gerald Scarfe books on my shelf. I can go on a whole rant about Gerald Scarfe's work because he's hugely influential in my own, one of my favorite caricature artists. But yeah, this is what I was talking about, the making of Pink Floyd The Wall. Oh yeah, but I saw this, Art and Times of Jay Ryan saying Golden Books. Yeah, I have a lot of Golden Books. Even before I got back into comics, recently, I went on this huge Golden Books kicks of like eBay and looking for old ones, specific artists and stuff. But there's some phenomenal artists that worked on Golden Books, different times, different point times. I don't think I've ever seen the He-Man ones though, so I'll have to check those out because those sound amazing. Gem and the Hologram ones. Oh, you are a huge Gem and the Hologram fan from what I know of you, so that's funny. Incredible art by Tom Tierney. Cool. Yeah, I'll check those out. That sounds great. Let's see. Can't move. Emo trash. Wrestling with her drawing. Whoa. Alan Lau, your bladder has a different understanding of streaming content. I'm going to give you one of these, Alan. How are you doing, Alan? Alan Lau also, not to get specific, but he also celebrated a birthday. Wish him a happy birthday, everybody. Belated happy birthday to my friend Alan Lau. How are you doing, man? Hope you had a great trip. I know you went away for your birthday. Hope you had a great trip and enjoyed yourself, relaxed. I was telling you about Terminator Zero. I was texting Alan about it. Whenever I watch something animation that sparks my interest, I usually text him first to let him know. But Terminator Zero is excellent, man. I hope you have a chance to watch it. It's really, really good. Like that, along with like the new Batman series, were just like, and that other series, Scavenger Reign, which I haven't finished. But Terminator Zero, I stayed with that one for. It took me about 2 days just to get through the whole series. I think it's 8 episodes, maybe. But that was awesome. Oh, what am I doing? I'm going to go through this book, or show you guys this book first. But hope you're well, dude. Hope you had a great birthday. Found a golden book with Little Critters by Mercer Mayer. It makes me think of Roy D. Mercer. Next to it is a Berenstain Bears book. Yes, Berenstain Bears. I used to misspell their name all the time. I don't have a streaming sound. Maybe that would be a good one to make or find. Happy belated birthday, Alan Lau. That man. You're either like Conquering the World or At Death's Bed. Either way, it's 2 gears for Alan Lau. Wait, who else had a birthday and then Alan Lau? Not me. No, not me. Shant did, John. Yeah. Happy birthday, Alan Lau. What movie show is Katie's sound from? My Fair Lady, Mark. Yeah. Go watch that one. It's a good one. All right, cool. And the whole background to that clip is My Fair Lady, the character. Oh my gosh. Katie, help me. What's her name? Just blanked on her name. Anyway, the name of the character played by Audrey Hepburn in the movie. She's like a little rough around the edges, speaks Cockney, has a very rough vocabulary, and they're trying the main character, Mr. Professor Higgins, I think. He kind of takes it upon himself to refine her. Like it's like this challenge that he can refine anything. He like can make anybody a proper English lady. And so he takes her under his wing, and it's this whole back and forth. She's really rough. She's really like kind of the bottom of society. And that clip is him trying to teach her to speak properly because she has very bad habits with how she talks. She talks in a lot of slang, a lot of incorrect pronunciations from a proper English point of view. I keep trying to draw this frame, and then I forget I got to go through this book. So let me flip through this book a little bit just to show John, and then we will move along. Eliza Doolittle, yes. My gosh, I can't believe I totally blanked on that. Happy birthday, my sister yesterday. Lead into gold. Yeah, watch it. It's a fun movie, Mark, and the music's great. Yes, Eliza Doolittle. Thank you, guys. Okay, so this is the making of Pink Floyd The Wall, and it's just filled with Scarf's. There he is. Scarf's drawings, his puppetry, puppet designs that he created. And these beautiful pen and ink drawings here. Amazing stuff. And Scarf's style, he's known for just this very expressive, aggressive, just attacks the page with his ink nibs, his paintbrush, whatever it is. And he was very controversial because he started off doing political cartoons, caricatures, and he would not hold back on how he felt. And he would do these kind of grotesque caricatures of political figures, celebrities, and everything. He's a contemporary of another caricature artist, Ralph Steadman, who I would argue I liked his work even more. But they're both kind of similar thoughts. I even think they were friends before, but because their styles were so similar, then they got into this debate or this battle of who came first, and then they had a falling out. But anyway, Scarf did production design work. I guess the guys in Pink Floyd were huge fans of his work, and he did production work for the concert Pink Floyd The Wall, which involved animation, stage design, set design, costume design, poster design, all sorts of stuff. This like apocalyptic, really gnarly imagery here. Very grotesque imagery. But he created these characters, these very bizarre characters. Like this was the teacher. There's like a judge character. But he did them in like these awesome drawings of them. But then he even did them with in 3 dimensions, which I loved. It's like puppetry, staging things. Oh, look at this. The teacher. So he has this whole sequence where the teacher is like chastising these children. Oh, this is the mother. But you're like, oh, those are cool drawings. And then but for him to convert that to 3 dimensions is crazy. And he did it. He was also the designer. These are some cells from the animation that was in Pink Floyd. Like this is like billboards. Awesome. I love just this wall and then the bricks breaking through. Oh yeah, here's images from the show. Yeah, I love this book. I just love how look at that. That's the mother design in like a balloon, kind of three-dimensional balloon. That's the teacher. They had these like headlights coming out of his eyeballs. These inflatables. Really cool stuff. I just love how they didn't water down his designs at all for the concert. Like they wanted it exactly how he envisioned it. And they did what they had to take. I don't know how much it cost to produce their show, but it couldn't have been cheap. I needed the film. Cool stuff. Yeah, I just love his imagery. It just invokes like a reaction when you see it. Oh, look at that giant balloon here with its hand on the car. And it would come out over the wall during the concert, if you can see that. It must have been awesome to go to this concert. I'm not a Pink Floyd fan at all, but I would have paid money to see this concert. Anyway, I can't remember why we were talking about this on Katie's stream, but it made me think of this book. UK must arrest him because they do today for free thought. Jeez. I was too young when I saw The Wall. Should watch it again sometime. Yeah, I haven't found a recording of the show on streaming. I hope to find it. I actually haven't looked. I haven't thought about The Wall until I saw you guys talking about it on stream. But yeah, I would love to see a stage production of that. I did buy the stage production of the recording of the stage production of Spirited Away. Was it Spirited Away? Yeah, Spirited Away. They did a stage production of that in Japan. That was hugely popular. And they did a lot of the fancy, incredible puppetry work in that. I love puppetry and theater, as you guys know. And there's this one artist who I follow, interacted with him a little bit on social media. Nice guy, British puppet designer, and he worked on that Spirited Away. His name's Toby Ollie. He's got a great Instagram account where he posts behind the scenes stuff of all the puppets stuff. But so I love it. It's just like magic watching that come to life. You're welcome, John. Yeah, hopefully that was cool to look at. I listened to The Wall driving up to the tower in Arizona National Park, where you drove around the plateau to the summit surrounded by the forest. Wow, that sounds amazing. Probably a good soundtrack to listen to while you're doing that. Katie made a reference to something, just another something, and remind me of just another brick in the wall. Oh, wow. Good memory. I can't even remember what I ate yesterday, let alone what was said on stream. So great memory. Katie, I hope you don't mind that we're always like categorizing you with British stereotypes. I hope you don't mind. I would not be offended if you did the same thing about us crazy Americans. We got to get more nationalities on my stream here. We got Americans. I think there was somebody who was visiting from Portugal one time, which was pretty amazing. I don't know how YouTube handles international recommendations because I'm pretty sure there's like a language thing. But come on, where are our viewers from like the Philippines? I'm Filipino. Filipinos speak English. Come on, where are you, Filipino subscribers from the Philippines, not from America? Or French? That would be awesome. I get French subscribers. Yeah, I don't know. Most of my subscribers are either America, Canada. That's about it. And one from the UK in Katie. It's going to have to be some serious reworking here, but just let's get it roughly blocked in here. It's funny too, because he's like cramming in these. I know he's doing his own word balloons, I'm guessing. He's just cramming in top of the art. Roughly this great black shadow shape here. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. All right, probably gonna wrap this up in the next 10 minutes or so. Seriously, because I do have to get on. I do have something at 1 I have to get on. Got that. Let's block in these eye sockets. Yeah, I kind of think I need to include the word balloons in here. Otherwise, I'm just making stuff up, which I could. It feels a little gross to try and fill in the blanks on a Will Eisner piece. I'll have to think about it. Love this folds, overlapping clothing on Spirit right here. It's a really great pose. The shadows are awesome on it, like pinches down here and stretches over here. It's great reconnecting with you guys after a little bit of a drought. Tomorrow I should be streaming again for My Wednesday Comics. I do have an unboxing I'll throw in there, which I had mentioned to a few of you earlier in the stream what it was already, just because I'd already talked about it. But we'll look through it tomorrow a little bit, and then I'm not sure what's coming out tomorrow. I'm never sure what's coming out tomorrow. or Wednesday. I'm hoping Rook Exodus is coming out next week or tomorrow. Because it was late by a week, but we'll see. Apparently one of the people working at comic book store was telling me that there's like Facebook groups of just retailers, and they're all like sharing information as far as what's late, what's missing, kind of griping about the industry together. But I thought that was kind of cool. Kind of a little community of, oh gosh, this is totally off. Totally off. Look how far over you are. I'm gonna have to shift you over. All right. This is where the soft eraser comes in, John. So that I can still see the impression of what I did, but erase the whole thing. Let's see. Oh, did I see that Cherish Psalms came in here? Hang on a second. Whoa, falling behind. Way behind. Sorry. Hang on. All right. Cranberry Landers is back. What's up, Cranberry Landers? Katie's all right with us talking about UK stuff. Yep. Hashtag cup of tea. All right. Awesome. Just let me know. You can make fun of us. Definitely can make fun of California Americans all the time. Floral Under Rock Puppet Show every Wednesday. All right, we'll have to check that out. Awesome one. Thank you for the link. If you don't eat your meat, how can you have any pudding? Can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat. Sounds like a UK thing. Bonjour. Let's see. I hear Cockney is about dead in British now, though, Katie. I took 4 almost expired bananas and made pudding last night. Wow. That's a very southern thing, banana pudding. That's a very deep... We talked about this maybe some streams ago about the Nilla wafers with the banana pudding. That's very southern. Cranberry Landers is fighting with his grandma. My gosh. Hope that's okay. Still hear a few old boys speak it, but most younger generations have no clue of Cockney. What's that movie with Brad Pitt where he had a Cockney accent? What was that movie? I can't remember. But it was really funny. Here we go. Cherish Psalms. What's up, Cherish Psalms?
What's wrong, little Pookie?
Haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? Hope you are well. Glad to see you. My mom makes the best banana bread in the world. Oh my goodness. I love me some banana bread. We might have to pry that recipe from your hands, Mark's Music Obsession. I just noticed the piece I wanted you to draw won. Thanks. All your shenanigans worked. Awesome one. Trying to get me to draw this very, very difficult page. It's hard, man. Ain't gonna lie. It's hard. But I'll do some work too off stream. I do have to go in like about five. Did I say that already? 5-10 minutes? No, literally 5-10 minutes. But yeah, I'll do some more work, a little bit more work on it today, just to get this in a better spot. Usually, I think in the past I've only done one penciling stream, rough penciling stream, and then I just went. Then most of the streams have been on the inks, which is one of my favorite parts, but. I think this one's gonna need another one on pencils because there's a lot of things to figure out here, which I'm nowhere near figuring out, and I don't think I can just go straight to inks. I'm gonna need to, yeah, gotta rough out a lot of the stuff. So the next stream will probably still be deep into the penciling process. of this guy. Pookie Cherished is here. That's right. I love banana bread. Mine is good, but I'd love to see her recipe. Emo has lost the will to draw without a bird on her shoulder. Louie is her, like, her spirit animal. Enough. Gonna finish this annoying part. Call it quits, John. That's kind of how I feel. If Louie was here, he'd probably throw me over the edge. Yappy Dog is bad enough. What's your Yappy Dog's name, if you don't mind me asking? Or do you call him Yappy Dog? Rocky's just a big old softy eraser fan. I am. We're talking about putting beans on ice cream? They have Asian desserts that have beans on ice cream. Actually, this past weekend, some of you guys know my wife is Singaporean. This past weekend was National Day for Singapore, which is the equivalent of our Independence Day. I believe it's 59th year, baby of a country. But we went to a local National Day celebration here. That was fun. One of the desserts they have is called chendol, which is like shaved ice with condensed milk, gula melaka, which is this very dark sugar syrup. They melt it and they make this like syrup on it. And then they put like pandan flavor, which is kind of like a coconutty kind of flavored. It's a leaf, but pandan flavor, green leaf, pandan flavored jelly on it. They have a similar dessert in Filipino culture called halo-halo, which is basically means mix, and they just throw all stuff in it. And one of the things they put in it, I remember as a kid, is beans. I didn't ever like that at all. I don't think beans should be in a dessert. There's a lot of bean desserts in Asian culture, and I'm not a huge fan of it. So, there you go. Let's see. Pudding equals dessert. Beans only come in green that taste good. Green beans. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't sound good. Red bean ice cream is all right. Okay. I'm not a big fan. Green bean casserole is basically on toast. Yappy Dog is named Pup. What's up, Pup? Stop giving your mommy a very hard time. She's just trying to draw. Yappy Dog's name is Bubby. Bubby. He's not technically mine. What's up, Bubby? Bubby. Sometimes we call our cats Bubby. I had the Japanese red bean sugar snacks. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of red bean. A lot of people are. It's in all sorts of different forms and desserts and stuff, but I'm not a big fan. Left here by my uncle's wife because they were both hospitalized in Charlottesville due to poor choices. Oh, I think I remember you sharing that. Now you have a dog. Well, hopefully he's not too much of a pain. All right, let me just block in these eye holes a little bit. Probably going to change it all anyway later. But just say that I did. That's already low, or way high than it should be. It's got too tight and then got thrown off by proportions as per usual. There's a face here, hands, face, hat. I love, like, how skillful is this? There's different expression. Not only is he drawing the inside of the eye sockets of this character, but he's giving him different expressions. So we're seeing the expressions from the reverse, where he pinched this eye, and this eye's wider, and this one's not as open. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a gun barrel right here. That he's looking at the gun pointing. It's a little crammed in there, but so crazy. This is crazy. This is a crazy panel, and it's so tiny. This is a horrible rough stage, guys, but that's okay. That's okay. I need to bruise it up with a blue, get in there and rework stuff. But we're starting, getting along, getting somewhere a little bit, roughing it out. Not too bad, not too bad. I had to rush a little bit here at the end. All right, let me just make sure I'm caught up here, but it's been real. I'm stopping. Start drawing again. Stop it. I just can't stop. This is what I was saying at the beginning. Art, comics, it's just one of those things where if you told me like you can't do this anymore, I would die a little bit inside, because it's like I'm just so excited to try and get to it and like figure it out. And I'm wrestling here. I'm definitely struggling right now wrestling, but I want to continue to wrestle because I'm like, I could figure this out. I could learn from this. How do I fix this? How do I adjust this? So that's why I stop and start and stop and stop and start. It's like that. I already had the cat that once belonged. Ah, yes, the cat. That quote earlier was a line from the Wall, Pink Floyd, Rocky, the one about the meat. Oh, cool. Nice tie-in, Mark. Awesome. Lucky was pretty much mine last September when I spent like $200 on all sorts of tests on his vet bill. Cat, they get expensive. Good friend of mine, she has her niece's dog, and she keeps talking about her niece. It's pretty much her dog, but she says it's her niece's dog. I'm like, but you're taking care of this dog. The dog picks you, sleeps with you. You're feeding the dog, paying for all the tests. It's your dog. She doesn't want it, but it is also her picture on her lock screen, so I think she kind of does. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. I think that's it. That's all I can do today, guys. 12:55. Yeah, I got to get rolling here. But thanks so much. It's so good to see all you guys, all you guys. Hey, you guys. See all you people again and interact with you again. It's been a minute. Got over that sickness. I'm much better now, thank goodness. And so we got to get back on the horse and catch up on this master study stream. Made some progress, struggled, but at least we broke the seal of starting, the start mark on it, and we're on our way. There will be for sure more pencil streams than usual on this one, because I got to get these way tighter before I even think of inking on this. The inking is going to be its own, holy moly, it's going to be its own challenge. This is the hardest one yet, and I've only done 2, but this is for sure the hardest page. I can already tell it's going to be the hardest page yet, but it's going to turn out great. If not, that's it, the end for me. But thank you all for being here. Thank you for showing up. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. All of you regulars, another shout out to Adam for getting his sound effect today.
This is Adam.
Hey.
And Art
It's
and Times of
actually
Jay
a
Ryan.
really good sculpt.
Both of you guys, the newest sound effectsers for today. And I'm working on the Mile High video for the Mile High comics. That should be coming up. I should finish that this week if all goes to plan. So that'd be awesome to get a new one in rotation. And then more Master Studies Wednesday comics tomorrow. I hope to see you guys all tomorrow. Get ready for some new comics and for more new comic talk, whatever we do here. Have a good Tuesday, everyone. My name is Rocky Ballesteros, and I'll see you around soon. Thank you so much. Hang out for the credits. See you later. Have a good day.